All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a broadcast from two different people who are both on Japan time. Well, generally Asian time at least. We both just woke up. My name is TJ, joined by 1D2. It's the AOV squad back together for one of the first big North American tournaments. I am super excited.
I am as well. I actually haven't cast a tournament in a long time. The last time I did this for Wild Rift was back with one of Dave's tournaments, so ready to get back into things. I also like the way that you alliterated my name as 1D2. Is that intentional?
Yeah,
Is that
that's your
like...
new branding. That's your new Twitter handle. We were trying to. I wrote, is it like at D2D2? I'm pretty sure that was your Twitter handle at one point.
No. That's my Twitch. That's my Twitch.
It should be at D123. That's the future. I'm just saying.
For all the times we said like D2 AOV for when that site was up.
100%. D2AOV.com still burned into my mind. All right. So, to kick things off today, we should talk about what we're doing. This is the Stacks Game House Tournament, their Wild Rift Invitational, and we have some of the best teams in Arena of Valor, some of the best teams in Vainglory. Well, not necessarily whole teams. Some of them have stuck together. A lot of it is just mixed players, and some names I've never seen before, all coming together for the first big tournament here in North America. We have $250 on the line. We've got a group stage ahead of us, several best-of-3 matches, and we're going to be starting things off with Team SNO versus Shogunate Gaming.
Yeah, and this should be a spicy tournament. I really like the format. It's very tidy, right? We're just doing a couple of best of threes. We're getting out of here. Everything's, nice and I don't know. It's the pace is going to be good, TJ, because I don't have these like long drawn out things. It's not going to be too short either. It's not going to be like, oh, okay, it's 4 teams and we're done with this. It's like nice big tournament, 8 teams, couple matches per day. There's going to be teams playing off stream so that it doesn't get too bogged down. Just to go over those teams, it's TribeGaming, just for fun. Team SNO, Shogunate Gaming, Naguara, or it's like Naguara, I think, and then KND, which is Kids Next Door, Team Gut Corki, and Team Divine. And all 8 of the teams will be playing while we're casting, but we're only going to be casting one of those matches, just to be more clear about that.
I have just looked for the first time at how we look on screen, and something's up with my camera. I am a vampire from Twilight. I am so excited for this new turn in my career, and I've been very distracted by that. We do have a ban system during this tournament. Ooh, and they're ready to go. They're waiting on me. Fire away. We do have a ban system in this tournament. The bans are going to be Galio, Evelyn, Lee Sin, and Akali for this first game.
All right. Sorry, can you say that again? It was Galio, excuse me.
Galio, Evelyn, Lee Sin, and Akali. And I did not have that up. That was from memory.
Wow. That's some surprising memory this early in the morning. At least for me. It's like not actually
No, I just woke up. We're rolling at with the same energy right now. Which is to say, disastrous energy. All right. Boom. Game number 1 here to kick us off. This is, again, Shogunate over on the left, I believe. Oh, no. I've got him backwards. Hold up. I'm prepared for this. Shogunate taking the right side, and Team SNO taking the right side on red. Shogunate will be left blue.
Right.
As we just talked about, I just woke up. We're doing great.
It's like TJ does all the production magic, by the way, guys. It's
yes, I'm a little overwhelmed. I apologize.
Right, but I just want to, compliment TJ for the viewers. The viewers, if you're thinking, "Wow, this production is fantastic," that's
nobody is thinking that. So. Nobody is looking at this and be like, "Damn, this production's so good." Let's talk about what you are getting to see, despite my production, though. We've got our picks here. It is going to be Corki, Oriana, Wukong to start things off for Shogunate. SNO grab themselves Brum, Kaisa, Yasuo, and Shyvana.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting the way they're going about this. What do you think about the rise of Corki lately? Obviously, we have an entire team talking about Corki, but
Mhm.
he didn't. The last time I was casting, he definitely wasn't this high in the tiers of things.
He's been pulled a lot in since I've been casting. Hey, here's a shout out. If you want to see the best teams in Asia go head to head, I'm casting ESL's Icon series. Um, and they run Corki exclusively as an AD carry, which is not how
Yeah.
it's run in League of Legends PC, but has been something that has been played with consistently here in Wild Rift. And I am of the opinion that it's fine. But why would you run Corki AD carry when you could get Kai'Sa, when you could get any number of, like the Xayah, I think is much better.
Mm.
Let's look
I
at the
do love
team.
Taya. She's very fun.
Let's look at the
Anyway,
team
go ahead.
comps as they end up. We get Kai'Sa Braum, which is a very good bottom lane here for SNO. They also grab themselves a Yasuo, so you have that Braum Yasuo combo. You also have the Braum Kai'Sa combo because they both want to get auto attack stacks on usually the same targets.
Mm.
And then your front line in these fights is going to be the Shyvana Braum, with the Kai'Sa Camille looking for targets behind that. And they do have some pretty good targets between the Lux and Corki, Orianna, who are going to be kind of static in the backline of Shogunate.
Yeah, it seems like they're just going for overall pretty strong champions here. And the biggest thing that points toward that is the fact that they have Yasuo, because Yasuo is so hit or miss, and he doesn't really, combo with the rest of his team unless you have some sort of wombo combo with something like a Malphite. So I'm interested to see how this Yasuo is going to turn out for them.
Okay, this is also, speaking of, we were talking about me producing, this is also my first time driving the spectator mode for Wild Rift. Because ESL and the Icon series, they handle that all for me. This is going to be a new
Nice.
and exciting experience.
Yeah, this is drunk driving at the moment, but we'll have to deal with it.
Well, Daniel, you told me you weren't going to complain. Oh, I can scroll
Hey.
wheel up and down. What is this?
Oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm complaining. I was about to say I'm not complaining. You assumed that I was complaining, but I'm kind of enjoying this at the moment. In case things are off to a pretty normal start, can you turn off the fog of war so we can
Oh,
see
maybe.
both sides,
Who
please?
knows?
I felt like we're going back to the old days when there was no spectator mode and we were just following one person around the entire time. It's like, oh, there's a fight happening on this side. I can see the bubbles. I can see those circles running around each other.
Oh, God. Shogunate do start things off defensively. I liked that 9 was looking for a way to kind of get in there, steal away the Raptors. That's the kind of thing that you want mid laners to be looking for. And I would even have said you could have done it against a level 1 Shyvana, but obviously decided not to take the risk.
Yeah, level 1, yeah, Shyvana eventually she gets rolling into the jungle, but on level 1 she's particularly vulnerable, like you mentioned. Orianna did get a nerf.
Oh, that's what that button does. Check this out.
I'm trying to make a point here.
Sorry.
Anyway, Orianna got nerfed, but she's still obviously very strong. But maybe that nerf kind of played into the mind of 9 there, as they're like, maybe I cannot quite take this yet. But yeah, you have your fun with your buttons, CJ.
I'm having so much fun. Check this out. I don't know what this does. Oh, I can select individual players and like talk about them. Damn.
That was Corki on the screen there. He is very good.
This Corki holding their own so far in the bottom lane. A little bit
on the first victim.
Yeah, a little bit behind in CS, and this is kind of what I was talking about. I do think Kai'Sa is the best AD carry right now, and that's for a couple of reasons. Obviously, because she's very good in lane, but also because you've got some assassin potential in team fights as the light binding lands and T-Dogs actually in huge trouble. Heel blown, flash underneath the turn, and Showstar is now going to be jumped on. Huge engage by the Shyvana. Mr. Sir drops the ulti. 1 kill over, and Bold Muffin won't be able to find the turn. So we have first blood passed over to SNO.
But Wukong is a little bit on the warpath here. He might actually get something.
Ooh, double Cyclone. Choky in as well. And when you have the Pantheon Grand Starfall immediately behind the double Cyclone knockup, it is disgusting.
Yeah, I think he flashed into that ult as well, if I'm not mistaken. But very well done by the side of who's this team again? Sorry, Shogunate. It's early. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was about to say, the word of warning to players at home to not get over aggressive. The Lux definitely did very poorly for her team trying to chase those kills and kind of, you know, basically turning all that work of getting their health bars low down to 0 because she got killed in the backside, but then got saved by her teammate in Wukong and Pantheon there. So it kind of worked out, I suppose.
Maybe. I think overall that's still going to hurt our Corki bottom lane here.
Yeah.
But it'll be a victory certainly for our roaming Pantheon and Toki. Toki playing the top side, so it was a little bit of a roam to get there, but you can see how the gold has
skirmish in the bot
back through.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just talking to you as observer and as caster. My bad.
I got you.
Just like there's something happening.
Good. There was a setup. This is the first Drake of the game. You might be like, TJ, why aren't you zooming out? I don't know how yet. We're gonna find that out. It's gonna. We'll get there, okay?
Isn't it top right? It's top right, right? Isn't that? Or
no, this just... I pushed this button already. Light vibing will be found. Jiggy's in trouble. They'll fall back behind the turret, be saved by a very good Glacial Fissure from T-Dog, and that's going to be a full turn round. T-Dog doesn't get to press this far forward, though. You need to burn the Redemption to keep him alive, and even then, Zenith will be able to dive in behind the turret and complete the kill.
Yeah, really good job by Wukong and the Pantheon realizing what's happening on the side of the map and kind of rotating over to make sure that they get those kills. This time it actually was the Orianna that helped out. We might have another skirmish here, excuse me. I don't know why SNO is still in the area.
Yeah, Toki ults in. We'll find the stun. Flash needs to be burned just to keep Pro Demon alive. And we're getting a lot of value here out of Toki's roaming. This has been, on ult cooldown every single time.
Yeah, if nothing else, just to show them who's boss, right? Like, get out of here. I'm it's Pantheon time, and it's kind of a way to mitigate the Camille, right? Camille before Pantheon was out was the main player who would be really good in lane, but also be able to rotate around and kind of help in that team fight. And Pantheon's been a really nice counter to that, to be able to use his ultimate in a way that can get in the fight immediately.
Finding out new things. You would not believe.
Where's the zoom out button?
I do not know where the zoom out button is, but I will get back to you on that. I think that's going to be a during break kind of thing.
Yeah, we will
Scorpion gets scared back here on the top side, and I'd like to draw our attention towards that top lane matchup you were talking about, because there is now a quite substantial gold lead. Oh, and it's going to get worse if Toki can get in on this fight. He's roaming down. Oh, across the map. Zenith will find one. With the aid of the final spark, Mr. Sir trades it back, grabbing the Orianna, but Toki's in, and Toki's got the damage. T-Dog barely survives, and Bold Muffin is here, just raining in ranged poke. They're not able to close the kills, but Shogunate have just locked down this entire side of the map and are going to turn instantly onto the Rift Herald.
I just love how both sides of that fight just dove the backline without any regard for what their backline was going through at the moment. You see the Yasuo jump in immediately onto the Wukong, and Wukong's like, what are you doing, buddy? Turns around, jumps on him, kills him, and meanwhile his Orianna was dying on the back end as well. So it's just kind of like, we're just going to run past you and kill your backline if that's okay with you.
Toki needs to run for their own life here, but will survive. Shogunate kind of running the map so far. They've gotten both early objectives. That Rift Herald is in their pocket. T-Dog may be able to punish 9 here. And they, of course, did get the first Drake of the game earlier today.
Yeah, Shogun has really been impressive thus far. A couple of slip-ups in the early game, but they're really being aggressive. And sometimes you do make mistakes when you're overly aggressive like this, but it's turned out in their favor for the most part. On the other hand, SNO, I think they're being a little bit too passive, letting Shogunate run all over them, even in situations where they weren't necessarily behind.
Yeah, I wanted to see more out of this bottom lane. But now, of course, they are just at a gold deficit everywhere on the map. There literally is no winning lane. It's not going to get easier.
Especially when Wukong jumps the back like this.
My god, the full-on combo works out. Bold Muffin is in trouble in the middle of this fight, but Toki comes through. Star is able to land the light binding. Nobody dies. What a disaster. Pro Demon will dive in, but underneath the redemption, he can't complete a single kill. Nobody dies on Shogunate in the middle of all of that.
I thought it was going to be a caster curse moment when you said nobody dies, and there were literal slits of health left on the side of Shogunate, but it didn't matter in the end. TJ, you are safe. No caster curse this time. That was a dominant fight here from Shogunate.
Rift Herald will get yet more gold plating over it now, a several thousand gold lead nearing 10k mark. This is looking like game one for Shogunate. I'm not entirely sure what could turn this round. You know, you start talking about late game scaling, and Kai'Sa obviously comes to mind, but that's kind of the only thing that's still going to be a presence in the late game, Kai'Sa and the Yasuo. And on the opposite side, you've got the Orianna, you've got the Lux, they're not going to get any less scary.
Right, and the thing is, that's a problem here for SNO, is that they can't really take a team fight. Right now they have to just chip away at the lead, you know, try to have some split push maybe by the Camille, but right now I don't think this is the way to back into this game trying to force this fight, especially because they're low in health, TJ.
Rift Herald will be picked up by Shogunate, and they're looking for more. SNO running for their lives, flash over the wall, but Zenith's got the chase. Jiggy's gone as well. 4 players dead in the blink of an eye. Run, Scorpion, as fast as your little knife legs can carry you.
I love the long-range snipe there from Star, pulling out that ultimate and just obliterating the last members of SNO here. This looks like it might be the death march. It looks like Shogunate might take this game number 1.
Yeah, this should be game. I don't know if they have enough to break the inhibitors here, but yeah, the Baron's coming up in 8 seconds, and I don't see a way for SNO to contest it.
Yeah, death timer is a little bit too short here. You did say that they took the Rift Herald. It was one of the Drakes, I believe, the Infernal Dragon. So that's even better than the Rift Herald turns out. And like you mentioned, they could take the Baron pretty soon here.
TP in. That's Toki. Cool.
Ballsy for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Toki can just frontline. There's nothing that really threatens them right now.
Yeah, particularly Braum. Braum's like, Toki's like, okay, Braum, if you're just gonna stand in front of me, I'm just gonna damage you. You're beefy, but you cannot hurt me, so I'm just gonna sit here and fight you then.
They kind of do need a kill over on Shogunate to start the Baron though, so that'll be what Zenith is setting up for. Toki over the wall with a flash engage stun, and Scorpion is 1 HP. Glacial Fissure will stop it down. Pro Demon able to combo well, and that actually is a great start to the team fight as the ultimate dives into the backline from Mr. Sir. They don't find the damage, and despite a beautiful Yasuo Last Whisper combo, Shogunate are just slapping them with the wallets at this point. The numbers do not add up.
I love that phrase, slapping him with the walls. That is certainly true. The gold lead is just too much, and the GA popping on the Wukong is not going to help the case for SNO, and that is almost certainly going to be, well, okay.
Yes, it should be game.
I think this might be over.
T-Dog will be respawning just in time to watch game number 1 end, as Shogunate take their times, closing out a 1-0 victory in really clean fashion.
Yeah, I like your analysis right before the end fight there. You're like, well, you know, Pantheon can just be, you know, in the front line if he wants to, right? And that's exactly how it turned out. He took the entire combo, and yeah, they took him down, but then their team died. So that's what happens when you try to force everything on Pantheon there.
This doesn't work great with our overlay. I'll need to fix that during the break as well.
Well, it's fine. I could tell you what's going on. I don't know what you guys are watching, but Bold Muffin with the MVP, 5-0 and 12, certainly showing that he was worthy of that number 1 pick, despite what TJ may tell you otherwise. But yeah,
that's what it looks like for everyone at home.
Oh, okay. It's, interesting.
Just don't look at the top of your screen. It's fine, chat. Yeah, no, this was a really dominant game, and so much of it, I think, like, obviously we're looking at the stats Bold Muffin was contributing. Like, let's take a look at the numbers. I'm clicking on the wrong window.
I think If I were to give an MVP to someone, though, I would give it to Zenith Rank on the Wukong there, because how many times do we see him come around the backside and secure kills in that dual lane there? And it was just so devastating. Time and time again, they were just getting punked in that lane, and it was just with the right rotations, I believe.
I was actually going to say I think I'd give my MVP to Toki, so we can disagree there. But even though Toki, doesn't look particularly impressive in those raw damage numbers or even in participation numbers, they were participating in almost every single fight. They were what gave the early lead during all those early game skirmishes that set Shogunate up to get the first Rift Herald, to get the first strike. So I think that's a pantheon dub. I think that's my overall analysis.
All right, well, agree to disagree. What is the plan here? Are we going right into game number 2, or what's happening?
I don't know. I'm going to throw to a break, and then we're going to come back. That's currently my plan, and we'll see what the teams think. Hopefully we haven't missed out on the start of game 2. Don't go far. We'll be right back after this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for game number 2. My name is still TJ, still alongside D2, and you're not going to see our pretty faces because we're right into game. It is Shogunate now over on the right, the red side, a fact I will address right now. As SNO take to the left, the blue side for first pick after losing game number 1.
Yeah, well, I will talk about the bans while you get that ready, TJ.
It was
Corki,
just that
Galio.
button. I know you can see it. I just need to press that button and then that button, and it just works. It's really good.
I was trying to help you out and just like no, no, shut up.
That's how I feel about people helping me.
Anyway, Corki, Galio, Akali, Lee, which means that we've substituted the Evelyn ban earlier for Corki. That's the only difference. So they are respecting the Corki, and I don't blame them. Corki did really well, and sometimes those comfort picks, you take them away and people fall apart, TJ.
Yeah, I want to touch on what's been picked up here by Shogunate, though, because it's, like, really exciting for me. It's Nami, who has seen almost no competitive play to date, at least in the Asian regions I've been casting, and Katarina, who is very strong right now as an assassin, if you can get her off to a good start. So they still have kind of the same core that they did last time with this double assassin threat between Katarina and Kaisa, but they've added an Evelyn to the list, so we got 3 backline divers and nobody to protect the Nami, who is just going to have the worst time, I assume, playing into Pantheon Shyvana Darius.
Okay.
We're going to make some sushi.
So, this is so support bias on your end. Not only support bias, but support bias where you're favoring yourself over everyone else, because the whole point of support is to sacrifice themselves for the rest of the team. So if Nami dies and they win the team fight, it's actually fine.
Spoken like a carry player.
I don't. Spoken like someone who tries to win games.
Daniel, this is toxicity at its finest. The series score is 1-0 as we load into game, with Shogunate taking game 1 pretty dominantly. I do want to talk a little bit more about that, though, because it is kind of the question mark that I think will depend entirely on how Star lands their bubbles and tidal wave. And if that Nami player lands their CC, then this game's winnable. If they don't land their CC, then you're going to have a bad time. They lied to me. The button they said would zoom out doesn't zoom out, Daniel. We're staying zoomed in.
No. Oh no, we're just gonna have to put on our microscopes to watch this game this time. Just right in there, right in the faces of these players. But it should be quite fun. I want to talk about the kind of role reversal from both of these teams. It seemed like last time we had Shogunate just being the in-your-face, beefy team. And kind of just controlling things from that end, whereas now they're more the assassin types, and the opponent, Pantheon has been given away with the opponent. They still retain the Shyvana does SNO, so it's going to be quite possibly a very nice engage between the Pantheon and the Shyvana, just jumping in there and getting some damage, as well as the Darius, mind you.
Yeah, I do think there is a problem. I think I like this SNO team comp overall much more, because I do think there is a problem if these raw stat check champions, basically, don't start off strong. It feels like the entirety of Shogunate's game plan here is to stat check, and if they don't get that, they're going to have a bad time.
Oh, you talk about starting off strong, but there's a lot of damage coming out from that Kaisa just now, so they're doing well for themselves at the moment. Nine cutting it pretty close. Does teleport back to her dagger, and she's gonna get on right out there.
That was a really fun duel to watch. We're also going to have some really fun duels over here on the top side, where Fiora is a difficult matchup into Darius, but Toki is not making it look like that at all. For the second game in a row, Toki will find the opening kill. This time it's over in the top lane, just taking and winning the 1v1.
Yeah, and the vital point was on the bottom side of the Darius there, literally the worst side, and Darius is probably like, oh, I can take this. Yeah, that's a nope on that end. Oh, very nice done. Very nice knockup by, by the Nami there.
Zenith will go in, ultimate ready, and deployed. Easy opening kill in the bottom lane, and it's 2-0 in favor of Shogunate.
Second game in a row where Zenith provides first blood for his team, jumping in on that dual lane. And SNO have got to be more careful than that. They know that Zenith's going to be extremely aggressive if they learn anything from game one, but I'm not sure they did, TJ. I'm not sure they learned anything from game one.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot you could do about that. It was just a very, very good setup by Zenith, kind of drifting sideways into that lane behind them. The only thing that they really did wrong was they didn't have any warding in this tri-bush. I have control of the camera now.
Sure.
This is what I wish I could do on other people's esports broadcasts. You needed to ward this bush.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, they definitely needed to have some way of knowing in advance that that Zenith was coming along and didn't have that warning. By the way, I have music in my background. I don't know if the chat's hearing that as well.
You're absolutely right. No, they're just funking along. They're just having a great time.
I was like, is this intentional? Are we just like 80s-ifying this?
Yeah! I don't know. I like to keep it a little bit low whilst we're talking, because we're both tremendously boring human beings. And the music helps with that.
Don't say that.
Okay, I'm a tremendously boring human
being.
Dive in. Oh! Star predicts it! The Nami bubble was such a good setup, and now Tidal Wave will be deployed. Jiggy is caught out. Already spent the Arcane Shift. Has to burn the Flash. Killer Instinct in. There's no mobility left, and that means Jiggy's just dead. Another good read on the Nami bubble from Star, and they have T-Dog down to a sliver of HP.
And this is why Kaisa is so devastating. You saw all the cooldowns used trying to be aggressive on the side of SNO, and then once they used them, all like, wait a second, we have no way to run. And Kaisa knew that, and Kaisa jumped in, and Kaisa took names for herself.
Yeah, it was very... Oh, T-Dog ulting in here. Doesn't have Smite, of course, but you do have Mr. Sir in the pit as well with a Smite. Zenith will focus in on the Drake and get taken down. Drake is stolen away by SNO, and they find a kill as well. Able to successfully assassinate the opposing jungler at Zenith.
Yeah, that is the wombo combo that certainly SNO was looking for when they put it on this draft. However, by going so hard with even the Darius in that bottom lane there, or excuse me, towards the dragon, that means that Toki gets a free tower up top.
Yeah, Toki will be able to pick that one up and keep building their own gold lead. And Fiora's scary the split push with this much gold. Like, she's at 5,000. Nobody else is even close to that on either team.
Ooh. Goodbye, Pantheon.
Oh, goodbye, T-Dog, indeed.
We'll be seen.
Oh my god, what a good tidal wave. It wasn't even needed because Nine's got so much damage. Shogunate are kind of running away with this again. Bot lane, they find 2 more kills. Mr. Sir is going to get charmed up here. No! The hate spikes are an inch short. I play Evelyn and I felt that in my soul.
Wait, don't encourage the Evelyn players. Come on.
I encourage Evelyn players. Somebody's got to be horny as hell, Daniel.
Oh, come on. Come on. Why are you always the indecent one in our broadcast, by the way? I thought that would be me, but it's never the case.
You're horrible behind the scenes, but then we go on air.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, what is happening? Oh, Knight. Oh, Ignite. Dead, I think. Yeah, Sin just wanted to make sure. Obviously, don't want to let that kill go. Took a little bit extra damage, but kind of worth it in the end, making sure that she dies. And
Toki was sitting on that dash, was 100% safe, but kind of took their time. Got a little shady.
Cooldowns, it can be dicey at times.
This is going to be the Rift Herald, successfully picked up behind that mid lane kill that Sin found. And that opens things up. That will mean that there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for SNO. They didn't even lose
I do
anything
like-
for it.
I do like Toki giving them the runaround though. Always just being annoying and jumping around. You see Snow grouping as 5 a whole lot here. Even an ult wasted. I don't know. Well, Nami's
Two
not going to get
ults.
away. I don't believe.
2 ults spent for
Yeah.
Star, who isn't going to get away, but it's pretty darn close. And here comes Zenith round the side.
Zenith's
Charm
going
will
for it.
land. Ultimate is ready. Blown. Easy kill onto T-Dog. 2 kills found. 3 kills found. As Snow kind of bite off way more than they can chew. Chasing down the Star.
Yeah, Star perfectly happy to be the sacrificial lamb there if she's going to lead them all the way to the turret so that they can get the flank here from the backside from Zenith, who has shown more than capable of pulling off that type of play. And now it is Shogunate's game definitely to lose here because they are running over Snow at the moment.
Yep, and Toki's going to do so much turret damage right now. Good riposte, buys time. We'll be able to disengage easy.
And you mentioned earlier that, you know, Toki had a massive gold lead, and he just used that gold lead in order to get more towers down. You know, not trying to force anything, not trying to jump in and 1v5 anyone. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm just complimenting because some people, they get ahead and they're like, why is my team sucking? I'm the only one with a gold lead. Let me just try to jump in here and 1v5, and it never works out. And Toki's doing the smart thing here, and it's working out much better for her team.
Is in a little bit of a 1v3 though. They'll need to play this safe. Instead, they pop the Grand Challenge and just go in. T-Dog, 1 HP at the back of the fight. Toki equally low. Will be able to disengage successfully. Just walked up to them and said, you want to fight? And the answer was no. Snow run for their lives.
Right. Well, and to be fair to Toki there, he knew that he had a couple of teammates coming along to help him out. I was perfectly fine for them. What he didn't know was that they were going 3v5. So after he got a little bit too deep, he was like, okay, never mind. Just kidding, just kidding. You guys can back off now. I will too.
I was waiting for the Grand Challenge reset. Okay, steal attempt again. T-Dog will start things off. Mr. Cirque goes in behind him into the pit. This time, though, Zenith's still alive. Will go in right on top of the Drake. 9 ults. Drake will be secure. Shogunate get it and the kills. It is just this Darius left. Pro Demon all alone, and Toki doesn't especially want to fight into it with full cooldowns. Will take their time to pop all the vital marks, procs, and get themselves a complete team wipe. Nobody stands on the map here for Snow.
I gotta say, Fiora has the most satisfying kills when the ult is completed, and there's just like this nice insignia on the ground where the opponent died. It's like, wow, what a beautiful death. Anyway,
Yeah, no,
that's all I had to say about that.
Fiora,
Still a dominant fight from Shogunate.
I agree. Fiora is aesthetically pleasing.
Hmm.
You know, it's been a while since we've cast together, since we did AOV together. Oh, that stun
You
didn't
forgot
look like
that's
it
what I
landed.
analyzed. You forgot that that's what my analysis turns to sometimes.
I missed you just randomly being like, hey, this character looks real cool. Star is still alive. I do not know how. T-Dog will take to the front lines. Zenith now comes through, and this should be a clean.
Oh my goodness.
Very easy days for Shogunate.
Snow needs to stop getting debated by Star.
Star.
Like every time Star just extremely low, just just lures them back with her siren song there. Is she like is her form based on some sort of like mythology? Because she doesn't look like it. In any case, she's always like luring them back, and then the rest of the
It's
team
like
just
a
pounces,
mermaid.
and then
I
it's
think
all
that's
over.
what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Baron is getting
But
taken.
like, aren't the sirens like snakes like that? Or am I confused?
I don't,
Anyway.
probably depends which mythology you're reading. I don't think they have enough HP for this. Bolt Muffin is really low. Baron will be secure. That was sketchy. Saved by Shogunate. Snow come in, though, and might be able to clean up a couple of kills here. 9
goodness.
just dancing through the fight, however, will be able to pick up 3
What was
kills.
that?
I think the finishes all go to Bold Muffin, but 9 doing so much damage in that fight.
I know. I just saw 9 just jumping around, just teleporting everywhere, and meanwhile, the blue health bars turned to black in an instant. What is happening right now?
Oh my god! Ult underneath the
9,
turret.
Stop it. 9, stop it. Stop it, 9.
Katarina is
Oh
pretty
my
scary
goodness.
on League of Legends PC, but the map's so big that it's like not really the same thing. Because Wild Rift Katarina can just cover half the map in like 30 seconds. It is terrifying.
I do feel like on PC though, you'd be able. It's easier to pull off her combos, right? Whereas on well, you have to drag every single ability. You can't just have your mouse in place here. I feel like the skill is a little bit harder on mobile. I might be biased because I'm mostly a mobile player, but
I never played Katarina on PC, but I can confirm when I tried to play her on mobile, it did not work. So I don't know. I take from that data what you will.
Small sample size, but that's okay. SNO just keep trying to fight. I don't think like how many times 23 kills to 4.
I mean, look at the gold lead.
Fights, SNO.
There's just no.
It's just
but
60K,
hey,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What else are you gonna do? At this
Ouch.
point, Bold
Yeah,
Muffin
true.
is just like pressing the skill buttons, doing the thing. Yep. Killer instinct
True.
into the base.
I mean,
Behind 2 turrets. Oh, do it, Star. Yeah. Power move.
honestly, this feels like a gentleman's concede. Like, yeah, we'll give you the satisfaction of killing us, and we'll make this quick.
And that will mean, as I'm going to update the score perfectly in sync, that it is a 2-0 here for Shogunate as they take our first series of the day here at the Stacks Gamehouse Wild Rift Invitational.
I should mention that getting a sweep is you get more points than getting just a win here. So it was definitely it definitely behooved Shogunate Gaming to try to go for the sweep rather than being complacent, maybe getting a game 3 win, because by sweeping they get 10 points. If they just got the win, it would have been 5 points. With a loss, SNO obviously gets 0. So very good start, obviously, for Shogunate. They get that 10 points, they get the maximum.
I'm pulling up the chats here, both Stacks Gamehouse's chat on Trovo and my own on Twitch. And I would like to, share some information with you. One of our Twitch viewers, a guy in orange, has chimed in and said that sirens are just mermaids who can sing and have a thing for murder. And I think that's a good data point, because if that's true, then the only question is whether or not Star can sing. Because if you're looking at the numbers, big thing for murder. 19 assists during that game, so much attention drawn onto them, and they were constantly able to survive, constantly able to use that utility so effectively, and they're getting a whole lot of value out of this Ardent Sensor. I think I can make it like pulse a little bit here. This Ardent Sensor, of course, bumps up AD damage, so anyone nearby, especially the Kai'Sa, is getting extra damage amp just by virtue of Sho being there. So really impressive play from Sho.
Star. I think Sho is Shogunate.
Yes, Sho is
anyway, do you know what qualifies, what allows you to qualify for an assist? If you're just getting beat up like Star was getting the entire time, and she does 0 damage and uses 0 abilities, does she still get
You need to. Okay, this is PC rules, but they are the same as best I can tell. You need to do healing to someone who wins a fight because of it, or damage to the target before they die. And they were doing a lot of healing and getting a lot of stat bonus. It is easy to rack up assists when you're healing everyone in the fight, but Star, I think, was adding a ton of value.
I think if you get beaten up and your team just like wipes the team after that, like what if you remember last game when Pantheon got like knocked up and wombo comboed by the Yasuo and the Braum, right? If he got no damage out of that, I feel like he should get assist, right? Because like he just took all the damage.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You know what? As a support main, you will never hear me complain about that idea. That's going to be our first series of the day over and done with, as Shogunate take a very clean 2-0. I'm going to go and check our handy little Word document that the admins put here together. Our round 2 match is going to be Team Gut Corki versus TribeGaming. So that will be what we air next. And I believe we're going to try and get fancy here. I do have a bracket screen just so you can see what the matchups are that are underway. So we just played round number 1, where all those round 1 matches were happening. We watched match number 3. And, of course, Shogunate Gaming did get the maximum amount of points because they did clean sweep the series, as you were talking about, and that will, set them up very easily. As we get the results from the other series, I'll put them on screen during the break. Any final thoughts from this?
No, very good start to the tournament. Very good start to the day. Very well played by Shogun. I enjoyed the way they played, very aggressive. Shouts out to Zenith, who was my Game 1 MVP and my Game 2 MVP, TJ.
Very good.
Very well done. I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right. Well, we'll go to that lightning fast break. Don't be afraid to follow the channel if you're watching either on my Twitch or on the Stacks Game House channel on Trovo. There will be more tournaments to come. For now, we're going to go to that quick break. We will be back with our round 2 match, which will again be Team Gut Corki versus TribeGaming.
On the floor. You better wake me